rise, please. If we may bow our heads and offer this prayer. Today, Lord, we offer this prayer of thanks. Thank you for providing us with all the men and women who, throughout this harsh winter, whether it be through our snow, cold, ice, or just dealing with everyday challenges that have happened this winter. Thank you for allowing these individuals to always be out there to help us and protect us, whether it be our police officers, our EMS, our fire, our Department of Public Works who have plowed and cindered our streets, to just our maintenance staffs in our many buildings that have allowed us to walk into work safely. We thank you for them, and we ask you to continue to protect them so they too may return home safely when their work is done to their families. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
These proceedings are being recorded for the sole purpose of preparing accurate written minutes. Recordings are overwritten following approval of the minutes, eliminating all unofficial records of these proceedings. Your first item, number 26050, the approval of the minutes of the previous meeting held January 15, 2026, noting the changes listed.
Motion to approve with the change.
Second?
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes. Well, I see there are quite a few guests here. I'm sure we're all concerned in counting business. So what I would ask you is if you do have a if you're a large group and you do have an individual spokesman, if you could please do that. If not, obviously, we'll welcome everyone's comment. But if you're here as a group on the same topic, if you have a spokesperson, we appreciate that. And I would ask that you please, when you rise, state your name, your address, and where, obviously where you're from. Because we like to keep it, not that non-county residents aren't welcome, but we like to hear from county residents a little bit more. So with that, I will open the floor for comment. We'll start right here.
My name's Steve Chukra. I live in the Mahoning Valley, 1596 Twin Crest Drive in Lehighton. I'm here representing Safe Carbon County today. Safe Carbon County representatives are here with me today to ask for your help to address a serious concern in their motion by body. Raise your hand. Our state government is rolling out a welcome mat for data centers with no controls on water consumption or power consumption. Governor Shapiro has put together an approval process for data centers to fast-track permits and provide tax credit incentives for computing equipment, and these have already been enacted. Our county is currently facing 3 data center proposals with a 4th under consideration. These data centers use too much land, water, and electricity, and the municipalities have very limited control over their impacts. Importantly, the data centers threaten our essential resource, drinking water. Currently, Pennsylvania allows business water withdrawals of up to 100,000 gallons per day over a 30-day period, or 3 million gallons per month before a permit is even required. Water withdrawals are reviewed on a case-by-case basis with no adequate assessment of the cumulative impact of separate data centers on local aquifers, multiple data centers on local aquifers. Drinking water is more valuable to our residents than artificial intelligence or ChatGPT, and it must be protected. Recently, an engineer for the proposed Penn Forest data center approached the Lehighton Water Authority to request extraction of 1 to 2 million gallons per day. This persistent thirst for water is unsustainable and is especially concerning given the droughts we've experienced in our area locally, as recorded by the Commonwealth and Delaware River Basin Commission. Last year, my neighbor's well went dry for the first time ever, and her farm is more than 80 years old, and a new well was required that was 80 feet deeper than the previous one. In addition to water, data centers consume extraordinary amounts of electricity. The proposed data center in Nesquehoning will use 350 million watts of power per day, and that's enough to power every household in Carbon County for a week. Our provider, PP&L, has already raised rates twice since June and is asking the Public Utility Commission to allow another increase. Unless Pennsylvania takes meaningful action, it likely will face electric rates that double in the near future. So why are we here today? We're here because we want to address the Board of Commissioners. You're the local government, and you represent our county. And we need your help and your leadership on these issues. We are here to call on you to advocate for protections for our water supply and against skyrocketing electricity rates driven by data center operations. There's legislation planned in the House and Senate that deserves your support. One bill is proposed by Senator Dave Argel to require developers to meet with local officials 30 days in advance of a data center proposal. Also, a set of 6 bills proposed by Senator Boscola will limit electric rates and provide other important guardrails for data centers. These proposals are detailed in the handouts that we have for you, and Save Carbon County has sent letters in support of the protections proposed by the bills. And that being said, we can all agree that letters from our county commissioners carry far more weight and influence than ours do alone. We have copies of the letters that we have sent here today, and we ask that you send similar letters of support. Unless laws are passed to better regulate data centers, our county and others face the potential for excessive data center development and their probable hydrological consequences because of the inadequate regulation that currently exists. Thank you for your time.
I do have a question for you. The one where they were at the Lehighton meeting about requesting for water, what did they say at the Lehighton Borough?
I wasn't at that meeting, but I wonder if some of my
So
colleagues.
it's, the reference to the
Because I
actual
know where
minutes
Lehighton
is
gets their
in
water.
your handout, and they said no, they don't have that kind of water.
Okay.
The reference to the minutes that from the December meeting is
Yeah.
in your handout, I think it's reference number 4. So at the end of that handout, there's all these little references with the URLs, and you can look that up, but basically they said we don't have that.
Because one of the data centers that is proposed is near Lehighton Water Authority. And it's in Franklin Township because that's where Lehighton gets their water.
Yeah.
And that would be disturbing because that is part of the property that we preserved in open space. And that I have an issue with because if they're making money off of it, then you know what, give us our money back if that's gonna wind up happening. But I'm sure the borough is aware of that. And I thought the borough was gonna protest that or contest that they didn't wanna do that. I mean, that's what I heard. I mean, that's, but,
The Water Authority has agreed to help the group that's opposing the data center in Penn Forest. It's not in Franklin, but it's right next to Franklin, and it would draw water from the Lehighton Water Authority aquifer, even if they drill a well.
yeah, because it's all right there. It's in Franklin Township at Pine Run. I mean, I know where you're talking about. Yeah, okay.
Also, everything that I alluded to in my comments is supported by references in this handout. We'll provide that to you. I'm not the sole speaker for Save Carbon County, but there are 2 others, and their comments will be even shorter than mine.
Okay.
I'm Brandon Fogel. I'm a local. I'm from 321 South Avenue up on the hill there. I walked down. Just to continue with what Steve was talking about, and keep you guys up to date with what we're doing as an organization. State municipal zoning laws obviously require that like every township in the county allow for a data center somewhere. And it's our position, we don't normally get involved with problems that we feel like we can't fix. But we do feel like there are some things we can make a positive difference on in this issue, and that's what we're planning on doing. We would like to ask for your help with these efforts as well. We can urge townships and boroughs within Carbon County to prepare for data center proposals by acting now and adopting zoning rules that regulate water withdrawals, noise disturbance, light pollution, location, provide buffers between data centers and other land users. And if any of the townships are having trouble with this kind of thing, because honestly, like, that's a lot for a lot of small townships, the regulations being put forth currently by Penn Forest are excellent. They're some of the best ones we've read, and they keep strengthening them. So if everyone to just blanket approve those regulations that Penn Forest has already drawn up, that would be a positive step. We can make sure that the public and decision makers know the whole picture, not just the picture painted by developers. Residents need to know exactly how the data center's use of electricity and water will affect their community and the full consequences of this type of development. We can ensure that developers keep the promises made during the approval process by calling out any deviation from those promises, and to better protect our environment and address the many negative consequences of this type of development, we can provide full and accurate information during the data center approval process. So we can help ensure that the community concerns are heard and that people are properly educated about the things that go on and act as a watchdog while this development is ongoing. Thank you.
Linda Chrisman, president of Save Carbon County. I just want to restate why we are here. It appears that the majority of our legislature and certainly our governor are very much in favor of data centers. The governor has prepared this lightning approval process for data centers. And there have been bills in the legislature that would completely cut out municipalities from this approval process. So the 7 bills that we are recommending that you get on board to support will not be easy to get done. What would be great is if Senator Argyle, who has proposed an excellent bill, would support Senator Argyle, a Republican, would support Senator Boscola, a Democrat's bills, and Senator Boscola, a Democrat, would support Senator Argyle's bills. We need across the aisle cooperation to get this done. And we need more than letters from you. You are the only local government that is elected by every person in Carbon County. Well, every person who voted for you. But you are unique in that way. So we need you to basically get the other counties to support this. I think finally, legislators are hearing from their constituents. In the vast majority of cases, constituents have overwhelmingly opposed data centers because they see the water use, they see the electrical use, and they don't see the great value of AI, which is already putting people out of work. So anything you can do would be helpful.
Question for you, Linda. Do you have a bill number yet?
No, these are still in memoranda form, but they are being worked into a bill right now.
Thank you.
To help you out a little bit, Linda, is as far as, what have we done so far? And I mean, Amy could actually even testify to this. A number of months back, I had gone down to the Planning Commission with a set of guidelines and regulations that have been set up throughout the state and other counties through the Planning Commission, hoping to give advice and guidance to the local planning commissions as to what data centers can and cannot do, the pros, the cons, context, and all of that. And I know that our planning commission did come up with some guidelines and some things that they have sent out. So we have been trying to be as proactive as we can be within the scope of what the county, can, I don't want to say dictate because that would be the wrong wording, but in the way that we can guide the local planning and the local municipalities and townships how to best save and protect their municipalities. So that we've already done. As far as the bills before that you've mentioned here from Senator Boscola and Senator Argyle, I will call both of them and get the research on that. And then we will come back here as a board and see what kind of letter of support can go out. I'm sure might see Senator Argyle a little later today. We have a 250 celebration at 1 o'clock, so maybe we'll get to speak to him a little bit there, or we'll schedule a sit-down meeting that we could actually hear what he is proposing so that we would know what to get together behind both of these senators to support that.
Thank you very much, really appreciate it. And I was aware that you sent out the model ordinance to everyone in the county, every municipality in the county.
And that was simply to try to just, get everybody, because there was a lot happening. And we can all, I think we can all sit here and admit there's a place for data centers and there's a place not for it. And I think that the local municipalities need to decide that and then come back in the county. But if we can provide that understanding on both sides, I think it helps. And that's kind of what we're trying to do right now until we get some more guidance from the state. So, okay. Anyone further? Any further topics for the betterment of Carbon County? Well, that was easy. In the back, yes?
All groups are done, right? So I can speak to the
Sure.
individual. Yeah. My name is Jennifer Staines, 353 West Abbott Street in Lansford. And this regards the election in November. On the 4th of November, I lost the election by 9 votes. On Friday, the 7th of November, I called in and there was a 5-vote span that I had lost by. And I wanted a recount, and I spoke with Jennifer Ketledge. She was very defensive, and she asked me the reasons why. And I went down the reasons why I wanted a recount. And I said, did the military votes come in? I said, did everybody, did all the ballots come back? And she said, 150 people called here to see if their ballots were counted. They should have called here. And I said, well, I still want this recount. She said, well, that's out of our hands. We want to certify this. You have to go to the prothonotary. So that was Friday, so Monday, the 10th of November, I went into the pathonetary, I asked about the form. She stated that the forms are filled out there, but I asked for the form and they said they don't give legal advice like they always do. So on the 25th, a certificate of winning the election was drawn up and signed and mailed to me, and the envelope was marked on the 26th. So I just put it to the side and waited, because that's what I do. So Wednesday, the 10th of December, there was an email in my private account to call Jennifer Kedgeledge. On Thursday, 11th December, I called the office, and she asked if I received an envelope, and I said yes, I put it to the side. She said, that's good, it was sent to you in error. The other girl running, Gwen, won, not you. And she's laughing. She says, I'm sorry, I should not be laughing. And I said, I'm done with this conversation. Friday, December 12th, I called the commissioner's office and I got a call from Commissioner Notstein. I explained the situation and I did not repeat anything between that call, you and I. So I want you to know that.
Thank you.
I sent all the screenshots, the emails, proof of date and time and calls, and I wrote it up. On Tuesday, 13 January, the ACLU called me 2 times, and then on Tuesday, February 3rd, the ACU called me back and we talked at length. I know it's a personnel issue and that's all you could really do, but in the rush to certify, errors were definitely made. Nothing should go to this level where I mailed this. I think it was very unprofessional, laughing, and there should be steps that if I lose, it should not be and it even written envelope and put out. It feels like I lost twice, honestly, getting this. It just was a slap in the face.
Well, first off, let me say this. That should never have happened. And on behalf of the election board, I apologize for that happening. That is a mistake, that letter that went out, and it was caused by the election office, not by the Board of Elections, okay, because they send out lords, and apparently it fell through it. The Board of Commissioners and the Board of Elections, which is the same, had a meeting with HR, and we sat down with the election office, and there was corrective measures made. There was disciplinary action taken for the mistakes that had been made. I can't get into those disciplinary actions and what all was done, but it was done, it was personnel, and there were files and everything put into their files, and it's duly recorded through HR. I can't get into that. As far as the count and the recount, I can tell you that that is an ongoing look into why that information was given out that way. I do know this, that in elections, you need to know this, there's the, you gotta verify the votes and you gotta check it, and sometimes it varies depending on, because not absentee ballots, write-ins haven't been counted into there, and, well, there's Carol, she knows how, and we all know this, you can be ahead by 15, the next thing you lost by 100, and you go, what happened? So that's part of that investigation that we're still doing, and I know that later today, Attorney Fricklin and myself and some other members are once again going down to the election office to address the concerns of those totals and that. I can tell you this, that there's times that we get information from the state, and I'm not blaming the state, and here, and every number's different. And why that happened, Harold, you've been there, and it's not a laughing, but it is unfortunate issue that happens. So what I can tell you, it has not been taken lightly. There has been disciplinary action for those employees that were involved. And it is an ongoing investigation as far as that it never happens again. And I do, on behalf of the commissioners, as sitting on the Board of Elections, apologize for the mistakes that they had made. I have no answer as to why, other than it was poor workmanship, poor quality work, and that should not be tolerated anywhere, especially in an election office in Carbon County.
I wish somebody would have followed up with me, because I wouldn't have come here today. I just thought it was done and you dealt with it and that's it. And if I had known that it was ongoing, I would have never.
No, you have every right to be, no, you have every right to be here, and you should be here, and you should ask those questions of us. So don't ever hesitate that, and that's anyone. You deserve an answer. And And like I've given you where we've gone so far, I apologize again if you didn't get that information back, because we just received an email recently that we'll be following up also on. So once we get that, and that we want to check to make sure, where did she go from 9 to 5? Was it in, I don't want to come out here and tell you that it was write-in votes, nor do I want to tell you that there was, I don't, you know. And I also have to look at, there's, you know, percentages of how many before certain recounts happen. So there's, the election code, while it's there as a code, and I think both commissioners can testify along with Bob, here is the most frustrating thing, is sitting on that, as chairman of that board with the other two. I will often call the state, because our solicitor told me to call the state and get direction. The answer I get back from the state is, speak to your solicitor. Rocky, am I correct?
You're correct.
I have a problem with that because you have 67 counties and 67 opinions. Please, at the state level, make up your damn mind. Which way is it?
And Rocky and I have both sat, and we all sat in a room, and I mean, and there's a Democrat and a Republican sitting in the same room discussing an election. And the answer we were given was, ask your solicitor. And we had him on the speakerphone, and we said, our solicitor is sitting here right now telling us to call you for clarification.
And when you call the state, sometimes you ask them for the documentation that we sent them. They don't even have the documentations that's recorded already. So how can we actually pinpoint something here? And there were mistakes made, but it's like back to the whole thing again. Like, why don't we get an overall answer for every county? And it always comes back to, I guess we all have individual elections. There's no such thing as a statewide election for anything. I guess each county, is gonna, I mean, that's the way it looks. Like, why is our solicitor in charge of elections? We have an election board at the state. And every time we ask the question, we get nothing. And like I said, we looked at stuff this morning, basically on an issue like this, and it's like the state can't even give us any documentation back. The numbers are there, but it's zero. So you mean to tell me nobody ever changed their address, nobody ever did this, but on the documentation, it's zero?
I just wish it was dealt with. We did
Yeah.
the recount.
Yeah.
If I was wrong, I would have paid the $50.
Yeah.
And all would have been over.
Well-
There's no knowing.
Yeah.
Well, we're continuing to look in, and I'm not looking to blame others, and I'm not looking to, but it is very frustrating on this, and I can tell you that when we go to CCAP, I sit all the time on the breakout sessions that deal with voter registration and election fraud and election updates, and it is not just here in Carbon County, it is across the board.
And it's like there's a law, either at the state or federal level, but then they put it on us. It's almost like, are we supposed to create our own law? You know what I mean? It's like, what do you do?
But that's no excuse for you getting a letter, nor is it no excuse for the thing. So, but that's kind of what makes it frustrating. No, thank you. Thank you. Anyone further? Okay, with that, I know we have Jared Soto, our Economic Development Specialist and Director, for a presentation, if anyone wishes to hang on. You may want to give it a few moments, Jared, till the room clears.
Hey, maybe they want to hear his presentation
Yeah,
on the
I would
economic.
stay.
Where are you going? Come
You
on.
don't have to leave.
Hang around a while.
Jared, maybe you should have went first. Oh, boy.
I can clear a room too. So.
I just need, I only need a couple of those copies, so I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you. All right, good morning, Commissioners. My name is Jared Soto. I'm the Economic Development Specialist at the Carbon Chamber and Economic Development Corporation. I'm just here to provide just some kind of update, some updates on what we're currently working on here. And if any questions along the way, just let me know, or anything else that you guys need me to follow up on afterwards. So just as a brief outline that I provided on the top, and I just attached some supplemental materials that I'll get into then too. So the first part I just want to kind of talk about is municipality visitation collaboration. So we're going to be working with the Carbon County Office of Planning and Development, Open Space and Wildlands Conservancy, to kind of get to work together as a cohesive presentation about just development in municipalities around the county. So we tried it on a regional level a couple months ago. The turnout was not exactly what we kind of hoped for, so I think what we're going to look at kind of doing is doing more like a targeted outreach to reach out to the specific planning and zoning commissions in each municipality, so that we could just further these types of conversations related to all these programs that we have here then too. I think in Carbon County, what we really, the message I hear kind of over and over is trying to strike that balance, and kind of how Save Carbon was here before. We don't want to be anti-development, but at the same time, just how do we kind of strike that balance between where is development best, and what programs can your municipality access that will be better for your long-term growth and development then too. So just more the education piece here then too, where we could kind of just say, is there areas that that can be rezoned for commercial and industrial that maybe like were once one way, but now is there any other opportunities where you would like to have opportunities for like these to exist? And really just kind of talking about the open space and kind of conservancy within that. The preservation is huge for us here to remain a recreational kind of tourism economy, and really kind of bring together how we talk about like the greenways, like kind of connecting greenways and trails so people have longer routes to kind of come here when they are engaging in tourism and outdoor activities then too. So that's an initiative that we're going to be working on. I have a meeting with Anna and Dave later on today to discuss this a little bit further, but I think that's what we kind of realize, is that we just want to really make sure, like, send something out, sit with that actual commission who's kind of making these kind of decisions, and really kind of see where they stand at then too. Next is Keystone Innovation Zone. So I attached a paper, East Stroudsburg University, Mary Frances Poshapak and Patrice Dumais are a regional KOZ entity that we're associated with. So I have a meeting with them tomorrow to kind of talk about, we want to work on getting Carbon County potential parcels identified for eligibility on the KIZ through the DCED program. So I'm going to work with her by March to kind of get, she on page, I believe it's page 2 of the document, there was just a couple sites recommended: Third Ward Elementary School at Lehighton, Lancer Train Station, Bit Farms Nescahoning, McAdoo Industrial Park, and PA Solar Park in Nescahoning. So just going to confirm what those sites are to see if they are eligible, and then also just kind of seeing if there's anything else that we could kind of look at expanding upon, or just reaching out to see like what may be potentially eligible for this program. So it's tax incentives for companies that are kind of doing more innovate under the business PA model, the 5 priorities to robotics, technology, life sciences, manufacturing, really just trying to kind of promote more of those industries for kind of start up with that then too, and giving them spaces that they might be able to do those types of programs in Carbon County. So I'll have an update in the coming weeks about where we stand with that. Next would be Carbon County Grant Coordinator meeting. I met with Jody a couple weeks ago. She's awesome. I think you guys made a great hire with her, like just depth and knowledge of like what she has and what she's able to access. One thing I feel that might be beneficial for us is to be able to collaborate with her in order to have information on grants that we could kind of disperse through our chamber members and also to our municipalities. So I just wanted to kind of just put that out there. I'm willing to kind of discuss this a little bit more, but I just think with the skill set that she specifically has could really add on to our way of how we could outreach to the community and make them more aware of these opportunities, whether on the federal level or even just more independently than too, as they kind of come along. But she had a whole bunch of good resources and just things that she kind of sent over to me, and it was really just eye-opening to things that I wasn't even aware of that are really out there that we might be able to utilize and get more out into the public then too. Next, Panther Valley Blueprint Community, just some updates on what we're working on there. The team graduated the 18-month program in this past November. So now we're working on a 5-year strategic plan. So some of these kind of things that we have in process right now, we're working with L-Tri-C on a small business incubator. We were looking at also consulting with a private business coach, Amber Finsel from Jim Thorpe. And what we're doing is just looking at putting together an education and coaching kind of program for anybody who would like to start up a business in the Panther Valley area, with providing that background education, having them work through a program, and upon completion of that program, that we would provide them $1,000 in seed money to start up their business and too. So it's gonna be a pilot. So I mean, it's kind of just something we're really have been in discussion about the last couple months, just about how do we kind of put this together. The school and Amber have been wonderful, giving us like just that ground information that we're like, we have this idea, but like, what do we kind of do? But like, they've been fantastic with us so far to put that together. So we're working on getting the pilot potentially finalized by April, May, and we will hope to roll this out late summer if everything kind of goes to plan with that. Next, we have the DCNR peer study for the Carbon and Schuylkill Trail Commission. So the 9/11 Memorial Trail Anthracite Connector is going to be a 33-mile trail connecting the Schuylkill River Trail in Pottsville to the DNL Trail in Jim Thorpe. So we submitted letters of support for each of the boroughs that are part of that trail, which would be in Carbon County, which would be Lansford, Summit Hill, Nesquehoning, and Jim Thorpe. And we also have 3 other nonprofits or agencies kind of provide letters of support with that. So that application was submitted. It's looking at potentially, if we were to form a Carbon Trail Schuylkill commission, where the funding specifically for this commission would just be dedicated specifically to that trail. This would just be a feasibility, kind of seeing like what's feasible, what would planning kind of look like, how would sustainability, that was the main thing that we kind of talked about from the beginning of this. You could build a great trail, but if we don't keep it clean, we don't kind of keep it like up to par, it's first impression. If I ride this trail and I just see just stuff everywhere and it's not being maintained, you know, I think it's just not going to be a good look and not really re-encourage people to come back through. So that grant will allow us to kind of really put together a plan of like what this would look like and what would be needed in order for this to be successful over the long term. So I worked with Susan Smith, the zoning and GIS coordinator from Schuylkill County, to kind of put this together. So we will give you an update once we kind of know what that looks like then. Finally, we're doing a Panther Valley Community Cleanup Day on April 25th. So we kind of came across that there's individual nonprofits in each borough that kind of do, or like organizations that do a cleanup, but nothing really ever has kind of been collectively put together. So we're in the process of having a public meeting at the beginning of March to kind of just to invite community members to let them know about like what our plan is for this, and we hope to offer a lunch at Panther Valley High School for everybody involved then afterwards then too. So it's just more about like how do we kind of really bring you know, that we're the only blueprint community that is designated 4 boroughs, and really I think just building cohesion over the long run through community engagement is really our long-term plan of success. Not that we want to sit here and tell boroughs what to do or how to operate in any kind of capacity, but just more about, is there overlapping things like, hey, we all want our area to be clean. That's no matter where we're from, we could all agree upon that. So is there kind of like that low-hanging fruit that we could kind of really just start to bring our communities together and be like, wow, like Lansford worked with Summit Hill and like everything was okay. Like, you know, just kind of building that positive, that positive relationships with priorities kind of going forward on that then too. Next, have the East Stroudsburg University Economic Outlook Summit, which will be on May 15th at Kalahari Resort. The theme for the summit this year is history, so they're looking at kind of going back to like the further highlighting some of the past entities that have operated in Carbon County and like kind of the history behind them. So I know the LCNN, that was the oldest company from 1822 that started in Carbon County, no longer operable, but just kind of that's the longest operating one that was established here. And then currently the current business that has been operating the longest is the Hotel Switzerland. So what I'm just looking to do, if you guys have any recommendations on somebody I could talk to about the history of LCNN, or if you could if you have any kind of contact information for anybody at the Hotel Switzerland, I could kind of just talk about this and see if they would like to do a presentation of like, hey, how have you been here for almost 200 years at this point? Like, you know, so I don't think that happens by mistake. So you're doing something right and kind of you're building your capacity in that way. So, so if there's anything that you guys have on that or could direct me towards, just let me know then too. Next, we have the Carbon County Housing Summit. It's going to be on March 25th at the Orioles in Lehighton. So it's a combination of Reimagine Carbon, the United Way, and the Community Development Group of the Poconos. It's going to bring together kind of community leaders just to talk about how, housing stock and just kind of like, is there different innovative ways to look at improving housing stock? I think as we all kind of know, I think the one statistic is like 80% of housing in Pennsylvania was built before 1940. So it's like we have old housing stock, and and sometimes just we as we know, in order to really bring in people to work in the county and live and just and feel and be more comfortable, just making sure that there's options that are more accessible, and is there other ways that we could kind of look at reappropriating properties to meet the demands of what kind of households look like anymore than too. So you have, we have an increasing aging rate, like of people 45 and older. There's less childcare birth happening now across the country than too. So it's kind of saying that there's going to need to be more facilities for our elderly population as we kind of move along, whether it's a facility for them to stay at or the accessibility for healthcare to kind of come in and meet the demands that they kind of have at that time then too. And then with the declining birth rates, you would kind of have it where sometimes single-family homes, it's not really practical for just one person to kind of move into then too. So what kind of things do we have to kind of consider as we kind of move forward to kind of make sure that everybody, no matter where you're kind of coming from, has an opportunity for safe housing in Carbon County. Next, the NEPA Alliance Engage program. The second attachment at the back of your packet is just kind of what I outlined as these are businesses that I'm going to be reaching out to in Carbon County for the year, just to kind of basically just do a visit to kind of learn more about what their operations kind of look like. Expansion, retention, workforce development will be kind of some of the themes that we discuss about. So really through this program, which is facilitated through DCED, but NEPA Alliance is the minister of the program, is that we would look at just reaching out to them, having a discussion about where they kind of certainly stand, what their long-term kind of goals are, and then how do we refer out to existing state agencies for support and for further discussion in order to kind of meet those goals that these companies kind of have. So in addition to this, we were asked to outreach to our 4 largest companies in county per year, just as a good faith kind of call, just making sure that we're keeping up with them, making sure that we just so they know that we're here and that we want to work with them, and we appreciate them operating business in Carbon County, and we want to make sure that they stay there too. So if there are any other businesses that you guys recommend that we do reach out to, feel free to share that with me then too. Next, the Redevelopment Assistance Capital Program, RACP, repurposing of the Richard Henry Exeter 940 project. So there was a warehouse project that received $1 million in RACP funding. That project up on Route 940 did not come to completion. So I was in contact with the Office of the Budget. They want us to bring out another proposal of where that money could be reallocated towards. There's no kind of time constraint right now, but they just asked that we kind of keep regular communication with them just to make sure they're we don't feel like we're ignoring them but we're not at a potential of losing the money. So we're just trying to, initially, all they want me to do is to just work on identifying potential projects of what that could be utilized for, and then they will kind of give me the go-ahead from there. Initially, they kind of said the best reappropriation would be kind of to keep if a similar project could be done in the area of where it was originally awarded. So it was the project covered Weatherly School District, so I was recently in contact with the borough manager up there. I gave her some background so she could pass on to their council up there. I think there's a building called the Schwab Building that was identified as something potential that this might be able to work towards. So, and I just offered that if they need me to come up there and discuss this any further, just to let me know. But so I'll wait to hear back from them on that then too. And I think we've been kind of working on just identifying other potential steps of what may be for that program then too. Next, just Wilkes University Small Business Development Center. This is just, I just want to make a note that we, on the second Friday of each month, if you know any local business owners, whether they are looking to start a business or if you have an existing business, but hey, I haven't updated my business plan in a while, or the scope of my business has changed over the course of time of operation, Lucy Singer from Wilkes University Small Business Development Center comes to our office. She'll work with people on business plans and helping them work through this process to make sure they could kind of, what their projections and kind of what they anticipate then too. So we just want to let you know that if anybody in your community is looking to do this, just please reach out to our office and have them set up a time to meet with Lucy regarding that. Next, the Economic Development Lunch and Learn series. So we recently, we are going to be starting a quarterly Lunch and Learn series, just general education that we can provide to municipalities, businesses, nonprofits, or really kind of anybody, just about what's going on in the field of economic development. Our first one is going to be this coming Tuesday on, I believe it's February 10th, from 11:30 to 1 o'clock. I'm happy to know that we filled capacity for the room that day, which I was really happy about then too. And it's just going to be a general overview of kind of just looking at some of the priorities, starting with the county comprehensive plan and greenways, trails and open space plan, and kind of filtering down about like how some of those themes and priorities kind of relate to like what some of the actions are and the partnerships that we're looking to develop in Carbon County for economic development growth going forward. In May, I have from Penn's Northeast, John Augustine, who's the president of there. He's going to be doing a session on site selection, just about like how we in Carbon County could identify available potential properties and land in commercial and industrial zones that might be not currently utilized, or hey, I have this piece of land here, but I don't know what to do with it. We're trying to develop a process in Carbon County where we could work with Penn Northeast to market those areas out further in a larger jurisdiction then too. So, and then in November, I'm still working on scheduling, but we're looking at having Business PA. Alicia Carner's our regional representative of Business PA coming in and just kind of discuss their program. So we're working on developing that and looking forward to just that's what we really want to be here at the Carbon Chamber, is just really that intermediary. How do we get information and education out to our community so they know what's here and what they can access and how they could work with our office in order to reach those priorities. And then just finally, I just want to confirm that just kind of like to come back here quarterly, just like with these updates. I think that when I talked to Kylie about it, it was just part of our agreement, but just making sure that like that's okay with you guys with regards to these kinds of things. If there's anything else regarding what I put here that you have questions on, or if there's anything else you want me to follow up on, just let me know.
I guess I would have more of a statement to help the press here a little bit, because this is kind of new. Maybe not, maybe he is, I'm sure. But there's a lot of progress we're trying to make in economic development. It was a big discussion that we've had among the three commissioners. So when it came time to renegotiate the contract that we had with the Carbon Chamber and Economic Development and how that's handled, if you go back, I think it was a year ago, 2 years ago, we only entered a one-year deal because, well, we had some concerns as a group and things that we wanted to see a little different. Not that they were doing anything wrong, but we just wanted to grow in a different way and provide more of a, on an economic side. So with that being said, the commissioners sat down and came up with a new agreement, which is what Jared had spoke about. We brought a new economic development person on, which was Jared, and Kylie have done a fantastic job of upgrading it and moving progress forward. And part of that agreement was things that you see right now, because it's not that they weren't happening, but they weren't happening fast enough in our eyes. So now by doing that, you can see what Jared's reaching out to and what we're trying to get done economically around the county. The other thing is, part of that agreement is that he does come in and give a report, because the county does supply a financial, which you've seen to there. And in the past, I'm not going to say we didn't get reports, but I think we got a lot of paper shuffles. And I'm not blaming, I'm pointing anything, but now we have a person, Jared has offered to come in here on a quarterly basis, or at least try to get in here and give us an update and the taxpayers, really, the update as to what's happening, around the county with economic development and with the chamber. So that we've asked for. So we have some, how would you say, checks and balances, maybe? And I think Jared's off to a very good start, and I wish him the best of luck with everything. I know I sit on the IDC with him, and we do a lot down there, so it's really good. And what we would really like to see, and I've spoken to the other two commissioners, he did bring up, there's a lot on this paper here, but I know one thing we were really concerned about was the $1 million in RAP money that we really wanted to see go to the Schwab building, or any way we could get it there, if possible, because that does two things. One, it's a building that's been on the docket to try to be taken care of up in Weatherly for as long as I think we can all talk about that. But the other point is, further up in there, you saw about housing. And that project does address a housing issue as well. So we felt we could check two off of our list there by trying to get that money earmarked there. And I honestly believe if you go up into the northern tier of the county and you ask them, would you like the Schwab building redone and fixed up for housing, or would you like a warehouse? I think it would overwhelmingly tell you that we would like some housing in the Schwab building. So that's why the commissioners decided or have asked Jared to really look into that. And there are other projects as well, but we'd like to see if that money could be geared toward housing, because we'd like to address two issues with that money that's there. So I don't know if anybody
Well,
else
I'm
is.
gonna make a comment and ask a question also, because this might pertain to everybody here. And it even has to do with the data centers, because I don't know if you've seen this in Lancaster County. Some farmers offered like $11 million for his property, and he settled for $2. And I see open space, and I think sometimes, and I'm not picking on open space or anything like that, but if you're trying to get things together here, I think we should be looking more at properties like that we can stop a data center, instead of looking at the low-hanging fruit that is, that somebody, either a municipality wants to turn over to us, because I said, well, I think when we open it up to the water authority of doing that, that's opening it up to every water authority along the line. So I'm thinking like we should be looking at farms like that, and I'm not positive, but there is a county in the state of Pennsylvania that the municipalities all got together with the data center. In fact, I was talking to one commissioner from Sullivan County, but it wasn't Sullivan. But one of them counties, the boroughs all got together, and they decided that we're gonna do this in our town, we're gonna do this in our town. And I think they cut it down that they only allowed one data center in their county. I don't know if you know, Linda, about which county that was, but there was one. And I don't know what they even say about the data centers. They say it's good, it's bad. But if we could cut it down to one, and it's one that isn't using water, because there's different types. There's one that uses a lot of water, and there's one that uses more air and not as much water. If we could cut it down to that, and going from 4 or 5 to 1, I think the communities would be happy with it. And like I said, I don't know about the technology. I'm not crazy over it, but we got to try and cut it off somewhere. And like I said, there's farms here, there's woodlands that they want to put the data centers on. Let's go after that property, I think. That's what I'm thinking. Try to cut it off. And I don't know how the municipalities did it, but between all the municipalities, they made some kind of an agreement. Do you know anything about it, Linda?
Yeah, I think it's Center County, and all the municipalities entered in what is called an intra-municipal
Okay.
planning agreement.
Okay,
But every municipality in that county did it. So that meant they had a regional plan,
Yeah.
not municipal by municipal.
right. And that's something, I think, maybe we're too late. A lot of times you're too late to get zoning or whatever, but you can always try. I think that's one of the biggest things. And I think the open space is always looking for something, and maybe we're looking at the wrong place. You know what I mean? It's like, these farms, and I said, and there's a lot of farmers out there that are 70, 80 years old that don't want to turn it over, and they're thinking like, well, I don't want $2 million. Maybe I'll take 500,000 and save the property. So hopefully we can get a hold of people like that.
Just a quick comment with that. I think that's what we really hope to do by reaching out to have these meetings with like planning and development with that. Just like, there's always the fear of uncertainty. I think that's where we often kind of come across.
Right.
Like, we have control over what these kind of things look like, but just due to
Yeah.
what may potentially happen. And it's like, well, I like things the kind of the same as compared to what may potentially be there. I think it's just a natural fear that we all have.
Well,
but,
and
yeah.
the thing about it, I think with the economic development, you're talking about it. Like, I'm from Franklin Township. The one property owner probably has 2,000 acres. I'm not saying preserve the whole thing, use a little bit. We have a hospital there that needs housing for doctors. We need the $500,000 house, which maybe we don't want, but maybe it can be on 5 acres and have some kind of development, and then we're gonna build our tax base. You know, some of these things that are coming into our county, we're not getting any kind of taxes off of it. So and I commend you for what you're doing too, Jared. Like, I mean, I like you're involved in this, and Miss Weiss also.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Just want to introduce your fellow staff member here.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is our Senior Vice President, Kylie Adams Weiss. So she runs our operation. So just, but yeah, I think it's just working really as, we're very one of the few combined chambers and economic development corporations, like kind of, so it's just really like, how do we kind of feed off of each other? Like, if we create more opportunities, then that's really where the chamber can kind of step up and say like, well, now you're here, let's bring in whatever we can to integrate you into the community, and how do we, so I think it's just kind of like a level approach to really just make sure like, have people be here, operate, but feel they have the support that really, they'll allow them to be successful over the long term.
And we have COG, but there's not enough in it, you know what I mean? I think this might tie the entire county together, that we will have more people in COG
Problem
also.
is getting those people to the table.
Yeah, well,
It's the same people all the time.
yeah,
And getting them together. It's been extremely frustrating or disappointing that our local municipalities do not get involved in a lot of the things that are going on until it's too late.
Anything further? For the benefit of the press, while Jared's here, would you like to ask him any questions? Nothing? Okay. I don't know if he's staying for the rest of the meeting, but if he clears the house for himself like he did prior, we're okay. Thank you, Jared. Anything further? Okay, onward, hold on.
Okay, your next item is the report of executive sessions held.
There was one executive session held on Thursday, January 29th at 9 a.m., and obviously it was to discuss personnel.
Department reports, item number 26051, the budget transfers.
Motion to approve.
second,
Mr. Arner?
yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Number 26052, the supplemental appropriations.
Motion to approve the supplemental appropriations.
Second.
I'm sorry, there were no supplemental appropriations.
I'll second the no appropriations.
Correction. Number 26053, expenditures of the payroll checks dated January 23rd, 2026.
Motion to ratify,
Second.
Mr. Arner?
yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Number 26054, the check numbers dated January 22nd, 2026.
Motion to approve.
Ratify.
Second.
Second, or whatever. I'm just,
Wake up.
Okay. Mr. Arner?
You
Yes.
stopped mid-sentence there.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Number 26055, check from January 20th.
motion to ratify.
Second.
Second,
Mr. Arner?
yes.
Mr. Notstein?
See, we don't orchestrate this, we're confused too.
The meeting's a little longer this week. They're already left the building.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Number 26056, the check dated January 29th, 2026.
Rocky.
So moved, ratify.
Mr. Arner?
Yes,
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
26057, the check dated February 5th, 2026.
motion approved,
Second.
Mr. Arner?
yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
The treasurer's reports, number 26058.
Motion to approve as presented.
Second,
Mr. Arner?
yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes. We'll recess this meeting for the salary board.
Okay, your first item is the approval of the minutes of the salary board meeting held January 5th, 2026.
Motion to approve.
Second. Oh, I should have left her again, I forgot. I rescind my second. Or no.
Her turn.
So do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have a second?
Second. Second, okay. Mrs. Herman? Yes. Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes. Are there any guests here concerning salary board business? Hearing none.
Report of executive sessions held.
Was one executive session held on February 2nd, 2026 at 10 a.m. 10:30.
Your first item is domestic relations. Change the rate of one administrative assistant from $17.71 per hour, grade 5, step D, to $16.44 per hour, grade 5, step A, effective February 6, 2026.
Motion to change the rate.
Second?
Mrs. Herman?
Yes.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Mrs. Herman?
A motion to change the rate of one fiscal data processing assistant one from $17.27 per hour, grade 5, step C, to $16.44 per hour, grade 5, step A, effective February 6, 2026.
Second.
Mrs. Herman?
Yes.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Children and Youth, change the rate of one county caseworker intern from $13.87 per hour, grade 1, step B, to $13.53 per hour, grade 3, step A, effective February 6, 2026.
Motion to change the rate.
Second?
Mrs. Herman?
Yes.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Corrections, change the rate of 3 part-time corrections officers from $16.85 per hour, grade 5, step B, to $16.44 per hour, grade 5, step A, effective February 6, 2026.
Motion to change the rate?
Second.
Mrs. Herman?
Yes.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes. I think that concludes business there. Do we wish to recess this till February or?
I don't think we need to.
No, we don't need to
No.
recess.
Okay, then we will adjourn. We will adjourn the salary board and go back into the the commissioners meeting.
Next item, number 26059, the personnel report for county departments.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Number 26060, the acknowledgements for courts and row offices.
Motion acknowledged.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Correspondence was received as listed. Copies will be made available to the press upon request. Advertising, number 26061, CDBG, bids for Perryville Borough.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Number 26062, bids for LP gas.
Motion to advertise and authorize.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Number 26063, the bids for sewage removal services at Mauch Champlain Park.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Boards and authorities. Number 26064, Hospital Authority reappointment as listed.
Motion to reappoint.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Number 26065, a resignation for the Industrial Development Authority.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Number 26066, a resignation redevelopment authority.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Children and Youth, number 26067, two agreements.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Number 26068, a purchase service agreement, Edwards Business.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Number 26069, an extender agreement with Verizon Wireless.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
The Correctional Facility, item number 26070, an agreement with the CCTI.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Number 26071, camera maintenance agreement with Johnson Controls.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Number 26072, an agreement with Johnson Controls for the fire alarm system.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second?
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
County buildings, the administration building number 26073, a proposal from Johnson Controls.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second?
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Number 26074, another agreement with Johnson Controls for audible visible device.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Emergency management, number 26074, the HMRF grant.
Motion to ratify.
Second?
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
GIS mapping, number 26076, the revised fee schedule.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Number 26077, a service agreement with Printastat.
Okay, motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Human Services, number 26078, the first quarter TFAP report.
Motion to accept.
Second?
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Number 26079, Shepherd House, the management agreement.
Motion to ratify.
Second?
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Number 26080, the state food plan.
Motion approved.
Second?
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Information technology, number 26081, and Fortinet equipment agreement with Integra One.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Juvenile Court, number 26082, and amendment number 4 to the BI Incorporated Electronic Monitoring Agreement.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Number 26083, grant and aid for juvenile court.
Motion approved and execute.
Second?
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Number 26084, juvenile court judges, youth level of service agreement.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Liquid fuels, number 26085, the annual report.
Motion to ratify.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Number 26086, the Act 44 report.
Motion to ratify.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Number 26087, the Act 89 report.
Motion to ratify.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
MATP program number 26088, the 2024-2025 final allocation.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Number 26089, the 2025-2026 revised initial allocation.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Planning and Development, number 26090, CDBG fiscal year 2022 revision request 4.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Number 26091, purchase a service agreement with Edwards Business.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Vehicle fleet financing, number 26092, the proposal for adult probation vehicle.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes. Make note on that, that will be taking 2 vehicles in adult probation down to 1. Take note of that.
Trying to reduce the fleet.
Trying to reduce the fleet, so.
Item number 26093, Area Agency on Aging Vehicle.
Motion to ratify.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Item number 26094, Children and Youth Vehicle.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Number 26095, a proposal for emergency vehicle services.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Solicitors report.
At last, right?
Bob, wake up.
She wouldn't
Now
allow
it's
me,
amateur
she
hour.
wouldn't allow me to gang them all together.
I'm glad this is just a rehearsal, not the actual meeting, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the real meeting starts at 12.
The Area Agency on Aging, item 26-096, agreement with In-Home Referral Incorporated.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Next is auditing services, item 26-097, a revised proposal from Baker Tilly. I would add that I'm still awaiting response to some comments and requests for revisions.
I'll make it a
so-
motion to table till
Second.
next meeting.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Item 26-098, resolution 26-003, declaration of disaster emergency in Carbon County on or about January 24th due to the snow emergency.
Motion to ratify.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Josiah White Park, item 26-099, gazebo request from New England Valley Mennonite Church.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Under Parks and Recreation, item 26-100, agricultural operations agreement with Lil Russ Farms.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Planning Commission, item 26-101, updating the Planning Commission fee schedule.
Motion to adopt and execute.
You pick.
I did, I picked. Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Under Public Defender, item 26-102, agreement with Justice Text Incorporated.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second?
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Also under Public Defender, item 26-103, an agreement with Dr. William F. Anzalone Jr.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second?
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
And lastly, under the Tax Claim Bureau, item 26-104, agreement with Infocom Corporation for printing services.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second?
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Nothing further.
Any further business? Commissioners' reports, Mr. Arner?
No, I talked enough.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes, I would like to draw your attention to all the contracts and agreements that we have passed today that took forever. And it has taken our solicitor forever to get these to the table. I shouldn't say that he's been extremely busy, and I'll tell you, he is earning his keeps around here with all these contracts and agreements and reviewing everything and being thorough. And you see, we tabled one today because of his, what do I want to say it, questionable comments or statements in a contract, or not happy with the way something is written, and he'll do that very often. If he doesn't agree with the wording or it's not in our best interest, we'll keep it off the agenda. His advice, this one got a little bit further. We expected a return answer to the questions. We did not get it, therefore we tabled it. So I do want to publicly thank him for all the hours he puts in. He's in there busy working. I know people are in and out, bugging him all the time with, oh, we got another issue with this and that. And we just makes him even busier when we have referrals and like the election. How many offices are you really the solicitor for? Tax assessment,
One.
elections, the commissioners, election board, prison board, how many others? You know, just to name it a few of the departments that he works with on contracts and agreements. So, you know, thank you, Bob, for.
And I have to thank him for it too, but what Wayne was really trying to say, we're gonna keep you for a while, Bob, okay?
All right, thank you. Can we
No,
move
you-
on?
No, Bob is really outstanding on what he does, I'm not kidding you, like, he cuts stuff off at the pass that would really get us in trouble, and I mean, he's very efficient at it. Yes.
Kept us out of jail so far.
Okay, stop now.
That's enough. We have to be somewhere else. Mr. Sifranco?
Are you done?
Hey, if you want to give me some flowers too,
We can put a statue out front for Indians. I thought Lou Holtz was sitting over there the way you were going on. But just a few quick things. Number one is, last year, the county commissioners voted that every February would be half-price adoption for your Love a Dog for Life. So the animal shelter here in Carbon County, once again, will be offering half-price adoptions for the whole month of February. Just a quick comment on that. I was at a meeting on Tuesday night. It was a very good meeting, once again, with our Animal Shelter Advisory Board. It was a lot of good suggestions in that. What was odd is we heard it a little bit of back and forth as to, you know, there were some items not getting taken care of, and that's really not the fact. The fact is, we went through a new maintenance director here in the county. We've had an enormous amount of snow. There's a lot of issues, but there was one issue that was brought up, and there were cameras purchased way back for the animal shelter. Those cameras unfortunately fell off the radar on the maintenance side. So the commissioners did sit down with our new director, Darrell, and he has put that on his work order list, and we will be addressing, making sure that those cameras do get installed at the animal shelter, because that was one issue that just, through all the changes and the passings, things do happen, so we are going to get those addressed. But obviously, while that is of utmost importance, we have to make sure the snow's moved before we even get to the animal shelter to put the cameras up. So if we could get a little break in this weather, we can catch up on a lot of that. That's that. The other thing I wanted to mention is, there was an article, and I thank Amy for the article in the paper in reference to the demolition fund that is down in planning. A number of years, a couple of years back, you may remember that was the talk all over the county, demolition, blight. And the county at that time and we set up an account that now has close to $160-some thousand in. There's a $250,000 demolition fund grant that was brought in by Senator Dargle, and all that is currently in county banks and the county accounts, you should say, and it's there for any municipality that's having issues or needs that funded. I know we set some guidelines up of $25,000 matches up to $50,000. The county is more or less saying, hey, look, we have this money, especially the $250,000, that if we don't use it, we will lose it. And this was a pressing issue. And we are still waiting as of this morning for some applications or ways to get that addressed. And I know Jared's been on top of it as well. So there is money out there, and we're willing to work with those guys. I mean, obviously, we get a quick run, which is what we would like. But if there's only one application, we're going to find a way to get to spend that money.
But they must come through the municipality.
Right.
Where it's located. So it's part of the problem. I would say we would consider, projects, even if they have very little, instead of the match, we have to spend that funding. So we'll look at whatever we get in applications, and maybe we can fund some of these totally. I'm not saying we can, but we'll do what we can to get that $200 especially. There's a timeline on that. We need to get it done. So,
Yeah, we do need to. So, I mean, honestly, get a hold of David. Bodnar down at the planning, and I thank Amy for the article, trying to draw people's attention out there. But, I mean, this obviously was, and it still is, an issue out there, and sometimes things fall off the table, and we have to continue to remind people. But there is money there, and those who don't know David, I'm sure people know Jared, and Jared can even help you, direct you to where that can get done, because it's part of the economy and redevelopment and everything. So it's a package. The other thing in reference to county property, there's always things going on around the county. I know there had been talk, so I did speak with David out at our Mock Chunk Lake. Dave, in reference to the polar plunge that's taking place this weekend out at Mock Chunk Lake, you should note that we did speak with the event organizers, and there's dates that are required to do such a plunge. They had a makeup date, and that is all approved by the Fish and Boat Commission to go into the lake. The county commissioners don't okay that. We just make sure the liability and all that is all taken care of by the event organizer. We also make sure that the EMS and all of those are going to be there. I know there is some concern in reference to, I think they're calling for like a -17 wind chill factor this weekend. So anyone who's looking to do a polar plunge, this is your weekend to talk about it. But we have made sure that all precautions that can be taken on the county side have been taken and have received assurance from, I think it's Marion High School that's having it, that everything is set up, and they will be there with their volunteers and some heat tents, and they've asked people to, right after your plunge this year, have a blanket ready so you can get right back to your cars. So, but that is scheduled to take place this weekend, and they have the people coming in. I know that I'm not doing it, Commissioner Arner's not doing it, but a lot of people have agreed to throw Wayne in the lake. He was there last year, I think, weren't you?
No, I didn't go. I don't want to get close to cold water.
And then
I
I
don't know
do,
where they're gonna do it. It's all iced over.
and then finally, I do like to call you out around the county. I think this weekend up in Nescahoning at the Russian Ukraine Church, am I correct? They usually have a huge basket raffle going. Russian Orthodox. They have a huge basket raffle going on up there. It's one of their key fundraisers in the Nescahoning area. So if you get a chance, stop up and visit those in Nescahoning this weekend. I know I will be up there after I get Wayne out of the lake. Anything further? I have nothing. That concludes the meeting. Where would we like to start, in the back or the front? Where did we start last week? 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago?
We started in the back.
Yes.
Oh, you don't want to go for, yeah, you want Amy to ask all the tough questions. Amy, you're up. You got a whole 17 pages there tonight.
I know, you guys went from a 15-minute, 3 meetings to over an hour.
I know.
So with regards to the election issues, that's not the first issue with this past election that has come up. I know the other issue was a name being left off the ballot beforehand.
Was it a name or was it a? Yeah, well, you're correct. There was another issue in another
Are they
township.
the only 2 issues that you guys have had to deal with for this election?
No. No, there have been other issues, not so much as numbers, but misspellings. Just oversight that needs to be further looked into, kind of like a checks and balance.
I think one of the, well,
And the one thing I'd like to say is, one of the biggest issues that we're experiencing there, and I don't want to pick completely on election office, because they're not 100% at fault here for some of this. Some of this falls obviously on the state, as we discussed earlier, but another issue, and we're not looking to pass blame, but we send information out to townships and boroughs, and we ask them to come back, because everybody thinks you read the paper, and the paper knows everything that's in it. But like, if I said to somebody, well, when does the term of the mayor run out in Beaver Meadows? Some people you don't know. So the election office sends memos out or emails out to all those townships and boroughs secretaries to make sure that we are updated as to what offices are up, how many offices are up, how long the term is. If we don't receive a response back, they do their best to try to make phone calls and figure it out, and sometimes that gets lost in the shuffle. The other thing that happens, and you've been reading, and thank you for covering it, papers, you see there's a lot of resignations. So you get people that they assume that because they just got appointed to a 4-year term, because that was the term, that they're there to the next 4 years, and the answer is no, they're there to the next municipal election. So they really only got appointed for 2 years, even though it was a 4-year term, so there has to be, so a lot of that has to be, and that was something that happened up in Weatherly. Weatherly's a good example of that. They had a mayor who had resigned, and they never notified the office that they appointed a new mayor and that this was an open seat, and then that got lost through, but Weatherly accepted responsibility for that, and they have since corrected that. So in defense of the election office, that has happened. So what we've done there is, commissioners and Commissioner Notstein is still working all of that out. We have a chart now that's giving you a breakdown of each municipality, each township, what offices are held there, what their term of office is, who is in office, and that has been sent out. It is vitally important that the secretaries in those townships and boroughs give that information back. He has taken it one step further, and that's why we have him handling that, because he's also trying to get all the EMA tied into that. Because there's times they're trying to find out who's the new fire chief, who is your emergency operations coordinator. There's a lot, who's in charge where?
Road crews. and all
Borough
that have to be
cruisers.
updated.
So we're trying-
Annually, in mid-year too.
So that's been a little offspring of what has, and that I don't blame any, because everybody gets busy. But unfortunately, that's how things fall through the cracks on the election office. And should the board here sit down and go through that all the time? Well, we do that as best as we can, but like when it comes to auditors, some supervisors are on a 6-year term, but they've filled in halfway through. So we're always sitting here going, well, what was his name? Oh, no, he left, So we're trying, what we've done is we've implemented a system now that we will catch all of that. Now, I'm not saying there's never not going to be a mistake, because we all make mistakes, but we've implemented a system now to try to eliminate as much of that as possible.
Yeah, and even like with art books here, when I first started out working with the bridges, trying to get municipalities in each one, and I looked up, and you usually have to deal with like the chair, whatever it was, like the town or the municipality, the supervisor. Art books, these people, some of them are deceased. We don't even have an update from them. You know what I mean? Like, and I know some of these, I think Charlie Getz was on one, like he was deceased how long ago, and he wasn't even a supervisor. He was a commissioner, and then he's still on the books there, yet as that he was a supervisor. Like how, and that's what I said, how are we supposed to run anything here when the municipalities don't even get back to us? Like Wayne's hot on it. I said, like, if there's an emergency in a township and you have to, who do you get a hold of? What happens if, like I said, okay, we're gonna call Charlie Getz in Kidder Township? That's not gonna work. And the municipalities have to get this back. It's crucial, not just for the election, it's just if there's an emergency. I mean, like this thing with the fire. Like, how do you get, if a fire happens, how do you get a hold of municipalities? Like, you can't just, I mean, it's not good.
And I think what happened at the election office, and I don't like to, I'm not going to get into this, but I will go back to Kenny Leffler. Kenny Leffler had that chart. Kenny Leffler, I commend the man for a job well done. And then as time goes on, people change. There was a lot of turnover in the county, a lot of turnover in the election office over the last 4 years prior to, but with that, some of that falls through the cracks. Why that happens, I can't answer that question. I wasn't here for that, but I can answer the question from here moving forward. We're trying not to. And we're not only purging those books and doing that. Good example is on the Redevelopment Authority today. You will see where Phyllis Roquette, that's Phyllis, remember Phyllis Bolton? Roche, well, she now lives completely out of state. So as we were going through doing this across the books, we started finding names of people that we need to, get a hold of and find out, like, where are you? And she was more than happy. Hey, she was okay. She didn't even really realize she was still there. So we've been, it's been done. I think a lot had to do, COVID hurt a lot of people, online, I mean, a lot of things. So we are straightening it out across the board.
With the elections, okay, I know who won, and trying to do the spreadsheet, but I don't know who got off. I don't have the list from last year or last couple of years to take off the list so I can put their names in there, or which one do I eliminate? So that's a problem.
Yeah, and I don't think we've seen so many resignations as we did this year.
That's the other issue.
There's, every municipality had a resignation. Every school board, I think, had a resignation. Like, how do you even keep track of stuff like that? And then I said, then with even the school boards, you got 2- and 4-year terms, And then when you go to a senator, they're 6 years and stuff. So everything's not standard for every position.
But we will right the ship. But as far as if you're asking about the letter, no, that kind of stuff cannot happen, and that has been addressed.
And just one other thing, because I wasn't 100% clear on it, was the recount. Is it, you're not doing a recount of that?
Well, I guess,
No, the election code provides that if there's a margin of 0.5%, 0.5%, then there's an automatic recount, but that's only for statewide positions. There's no rule like that for local positions. So it would be up to a citizen or the candidate themselves to petition the court for a recount, and you have to do that within 5 days.
and now I want you to do yourself a favor on that one. When you have mail-in ballots coming in and you have things think about the 5-day rule. Okay, so then you still have military ballots that are,
That 5-day rule, is that from the election itself, or is that from the results of writing?
No, I believe it's from the results from the certification. Yeah.
so you gotta wait till all of that comes in before you can dispute it. And sometimes, I can tell you, the night after night of election, I'm sitting at the election office and I am getting texts, is that everything? How many write-ins did I get? And I sit there and I say, Amy, if you wanted to run, you should have just put your name on the ballot and I could give you your number. But you ran a write-in campaign and that's gonna take a couple days till we get through that. And I'm not faulting people because I'm happy that they wanna do it and I welcome them. But it does add to the system. And like, you think there would be an automatic recount, and that was a big, just the last election with Senator McCormick and, who did he run against? Casey. It was, did they fall within that 1 and 1.5% before they decided? And when they found out it was outside of that, they just scrubbed the whole idea. But up until then, it was nip and tuck. So, I mean, it is something that, when you go from 9 votes to 5 votes, if you read the law, you would say it's time to there should be an automatic recount. Well, no, but,
And then don't forget about the mail-in ballot that you get 3 months after the election. Okay, throw that in there yet in your article. See how that works out if you get 5 of them.
And then I just, I'll meet with Jen about making copies for.
And I will tell you, I won't get into a name, but I'll give you one. There was one where there was a mail-in ballot overseas. And 2 out of 3 received the ballot and 1 person did not. And the reason they said it was undeliverable. Well, how did 2 get delivered and 1 not? And it was because we had the P.O. box on from the post office, and they had the actual address for the election office. So they wouldn't deliver the way it was addressed. So we went back and we called up all the election offices in the state, and I found 7 other offices that have it the same way as we do. And they didn't experience any problem. So does that mean that a single postal worker decided, well, I'm not delivering that the way it is? I don't know that, and I'm not faulting anybody, but that's a very vague area, and when you start digging down into that, it sounds like, well, it's only 1 vote. Well, every vote counts. So that person's vote should have counted, but someone made the decision, not us and not the election office, to make that non-deliverable. Well, how did 2 other people get it? Same way. So those are issues that we're constantly dealing with. The problem is if the election board comes out, we tell you the issues as you hear them there. If I say something like that right now, the mail's all screwed up, everybody's just messed up, don't mail a ballot in. And in theory, it's 1 or 2, but 1 or 2 count. But everybody feels like it's 2,000. And then it's gonna affect, and it can affect the election. In a close election, you just heard 5 votes. So it's gotta be rectified, and that's where we really don't get a lot of guidance from the state. Like, should that count? The answer is, well, yes, it wasn't their fault, it wasn't our fault. Well, it wasn't received on time. No fault of us. So, I mean, there are issues there, but the internal issues of what we've experienced within the election office are being addressed and have been addressed in the areas where corrective action had to be taken.
I just have one about the demolition fund, and you were talking about some of the regulations that you have. I'm not familiar with it, so I didn't know if you were able to.
so you can go through it. If you go down to Dave at the planning, call him, he can give you a breakout of everything. But I think the way it's set up, I'll give you top end of this, is there's money there, and the county will match up to a municipality with 25,000. So, for instance, if, I'll pick Jim Thorpe. Jim Thorpe decides to demolish them and want to put 25,000 up, the county will give 25,000. So now you have 50,000 to put toward that. So that's how we set up the 250, because in the beginning, there was a enormous amount of concern about blight and demolition throughout the county, and we only had $250,000. So when you look at demolition, depending on where it's at, you could probably end up spending $250,000 in one community, or just in one building in one community. So we felt in order to be fair to everybody in Carbon County, that was the best way to put a guideline, so everybody had an opportunity to get involved, and in the boroughs who were experiencing it, at least everybody had a hand in it, and everybody had a vested interest. Has that been detrimental? I don't know, maybe, I don't know, we haven't heard back from them on that, but we're willing to work with those municipalities that have that and want to do it, and we can adjust that $25,000 one way or the other, because, especially on the 250,000, that we can really work with, because if we don't get it out the door, the chances of receiving it again, well, it's never good to turn grant money back to the state. I mean, it's just, so if there's a municipality out there, and I know there are, they just need to get involved in Dave and get it set up. So, but he'll give you all the, down deep details that you may be looking for. Anything else? Thank you all for a good meeting. I hope to see some of you over at the 250 celebration. It's starting at 1 o'clock at the park. I'm not sorry, at the high school.